Everyone, and welcome to Lakewood College. I have the privilege of introducing our academic dean, Jim.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Great. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you. It is 2018, and we're certainly excited to be here and talk about some of the new stuff here at Lakewood College and some of the efforts that we have so excitedly been ramping up for this rollout today. Actually.
Yes, we're working on a number of projects, as you know, and so we're very excited about this coming year. We've done a lot of good work last year to kind of get ready for 2018, and we had a very good year last year, don't you think?
I think it's been phenomenal.
We had a lot of great accomplishment. We heard a lot of success stories from our students and our graduates.
Yes.
And congratulations on your video blitz, by the way.
Thank you.
I saw many great stories.
Yeah, I hope
from students and grads and faculty members.
Yeah, I certainly hope you all enjoyed it. I really enjoyed working with everyone who assisted in that endeavor.
I think that was a great project because it reminds people that even though we're an online school, there are real people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Real students, real faculty members, real
Absolutely.
staff members. So
yeah.
Video is great to drive that home. Yeah.
So one of the things I thought we could talk about today was perhaps traits or behaviors, similarities within an online learning environment. And I thought who better than to bring you on and perhaps give us some of your insight.
So we'll talk a little bit about how students can be successful here at our school and online, generally speaking, and even at brick and mortar. But yeah, that's a great question, and this is a perfect time of year to chat about it because everybody seems to go into a new year with extra excitement and vigor, and they want to know, what's going to work for them.
Right.
So I just have a few points that I think may be helpful for our students.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, Anthony, and I know you know this because you're part of our leadership team, success is about self-discipline and focus. And that's true with any student taking a course at any school, but I think especially so in the online environment for a number of reasons. But I would recommend and encourage students to understand that if you want to find success, self-discipline is imperative. Focusing on what needs to be done now to progress through your course so that you finish on time is really important. And we live in such a busy, hectic world, sometimes chaotic world, that maintaining focus on anything seems to be more problematic and more difficult.
Sure.
I don't know if you noticed that or not, but
it's easily to get distracted. A Facebook Live video shows up, and all of a sudden, I don't want to work anymore.
It's so easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
And certainly, life happens, and many of our students are adult learners, so they have responsibilities at work, at church, they have families. Maybe they're in the middle of a move. There's a lot going on for them, so I totally understand that there are times when you have to, kind of postpone what you want to do to get something done. But for the most part, the most successful students will use self-discipline and focus. The other thing is something I discovered when I was going to school, and Anthony, I went to school and worked 2 jobs for many, many years. And what I discovered was if you share with other people in your life that you're going to school, that you are learning, that just sharing with other people, there's a power to that. They too get excited, they support you, they encourage you. People at work are interested in knowing what you're doing. I think too, especially in the workplace, your supervisors will find that you're going back to school. I think that will be of interest to them, because right now people at the workplace are trying to figure out who to give the next promotion to, who to give a next project to, who to give more responsibility to. And what they'll do is if they know that you're going to school, that you're pursuing growth and development, you might be top on that list. Whereas if they don't know that you're going to school, then you'll get lost along with the other people at the workplace.
Right.
So share with others, especially close friends and family members, that you're in school, this is important to you, you're going to need their help and support. The other thing too is, and this is more detail oriented, for the sake of studying, find a place and a time that works for you. Now that's different for each person. It could be if you can find a quiet space or room at your house or apartment. For me, I love to work at coffee shops. Even if it's noisy, I can still work at a coffee shop and focus, maybe put in my earbuds, listen to some music. But whatever that means for each student, to find a place and a time that works for them and put it in the calendar. So maybe every Tuesday night from 6 to 8 p.m., that's your special time to focus on your schoolwork. And if you can do that on a routine, you will find success. Read everything. Read everything that your course requires you to read. So read your syllabus, read your study guide. Definitely read your textbook. Don't think that you can do well in a course without reading the textbook. The textbook is the focal point, really, of the content that we deliver to students. So I do not encourage students to take a course and think they will do well if they don't read. Reading is still important. And to do work weekly, most of our courses and programs are designed in weekly segments, so that if you do something each week on your course, you will make your way through the program pretty nicely. Also, I highly recommend to students, ask questions. I mean, ask a lot of questions. We know that research has shown that students who ask more questions do better. It's as simple as that. Ask questions of your instructor. Make use of your success coach. Ask questions of your success coach. And make sure that you're really drawing value from the course, and it's not just one way. The other thing I want to share with students, Anthony, we talked about this earlier. Almost all of our courses end with a final exam. And what I've learned is the final exam freaks people out. They stress out about their exam on day one, almost to the point of paralysis. So my message to our students is this: we want you to take the exam seriously. We want you to prepare and study for your exam, but don't stress out about it so much that you do poorly on the other parts of your course. And that's just about, you can talk to your instructor about what to expect in the exam. Read your study guide. Your study guide will tell you what the exam kind of consists of. Essentially, if you do your readings, the questions in the exam are an extension of your readings. That's why I say read everything. But take your final exam seriously and study for it, but don't overly stress out to the point where it prevents you from doing well in the other aspects of the course. So yeah, those are just some pointers that I have for students who want to find success in our programs.
Well, thank you for that. I think that insight is extremely valuable for all stakeholders of Lakewood College. I mean, I know I've been a student personally for over 10 years now in both online and seated environments, and I think that as a consumer of knowledge myself, I can personally say that this is really valuable insight. Speaking about, you talked about asking questions. I believe in the power of collaboration. I think it's one of the most phenomenal things, and it's how I've achieved the degrees that I have gotten thus far. In aligning with the Lakewood College mission and our continuous improvement endeavors here, we have decided to implement a student resource center. Yeah. This is getting rolled out next week.
Very exciting.
I'm finishing the editing right now.
I'm going to ask you to go a level deeper into that and tell us a little bit about that and what students will find there when they go.
Sure. Yeah. So it's not 100% complete because I've asked all faculty to give me their feedback. So based upon the final faculty feedback, I may tweak a few things. However, the content will probably, if anything, grow or remain the same. So it's beginning with a lot of out of Lakewood College, so outside the resources, external resources for collaboration and or study materials.
Great.
So we've included a lot of college level study materials and opportunities for students to explore for if there's any issues. The other thing is that we've hired tutors for each and every program. So every single student who perhaps is struggling or really just wants another student to assist them, they can reach out to their tutor during their office hours. They can text, call, or email that tutor and speak about whatever they're having trouble with.
That's huge.
One of the cool things about this tutoring program that we've written is that every single tutor has completed the same exact program that their tutor had. They've achieved a 90% or above.
Fantastic.
So they are highly qualified to assist in these, and then of course they've done other education to ensure that they are valuable to our students.
So our current students essentially will have the ability to reach out and communicate with a graduate of the program.
You got it.
And simply ask questions if they need to, get advice on how to do well and finish.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And that's a great model.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a great model.
That's another thing in the Student Resource Center. Another thing that we put in there is writing center. So some students may have, as you said earlier, a lot of them are adult learners. Perhaps they haven't gotten to school for 20 years. I know, personally speaking, my mother's going back to college at age 65, and she hasn't been in school for 40 some years. So it's not that she's not a good writer, but perhaps she needs a little tweaking and an update.
Right.
So that the writing center is in there as well. And then
fantastic.
Finally, there are opportunities for non-academic discussions. Oftentimes in an online environment, I have 3 online college degrees, and in each institution that I've attended, there never were really many opportunities for discussion outside of the classroom. So this is a non-academic place where students can go in and speak about whatever it is that's on their mind. It's not monitored by faculty. I'm the only administrator here that will be monitoring it simply for censorship. But other than that, it's really a free-for-all. And whatever they would like to discuss, hopefully not academics. That's really my goal.
So if we were running a brick and mortar campus, a lot of this type of discussion would happen incidentally at the food court.
Right.
In hallways, in the library, yes. Yeah. And that's great because a lot of good things happen in that space as well.
I think so too. I think that's where a lot of ideas come. A lot of the ideas that we've implemented in the last couple of quarters here at Lakewood College have come from students. And simply like when I get a phone call or an email from a student, I'm feverishly researching how we can implement these suggestions. And I don't think that many colleges take that as seriously as we do. With that said, this is one of those things.
I'm not surprised at that because our students are very savvy people. They're very savvy. They're, like I said, most of them are adult learners. They're working. They have other responsibilities. And some of them are already quite accomplished.
Right.
So they bring good ideas to us, and we try to implement them. It takes time. It doesn't always happen quickly.
Right.
But we're working on their input, and that's important. I think that's all exciting stuff, Anthony. I would share with everybody, sometimes, Anthony, people ask me if education is still valuable. Because there's a lot of debate in our society right now about,
that's a really good question.
Is education still valuable?
Okay.
And will it lead to more success for people as compared if they hadn't gone to school?
Sure.
And the answer is yes, education is still very valuable, and research does show that there is a direct causation between the amount of education somebody has and how much income they will make during the course of their life. There are exceptions to the rule,
sure,
but for the most part, you can feel confident. Now, you know that we here at Lakewood College, we're not so keen on going into deep debt for college.
Not at all.
But we believe there's a way to go to school and not have the debt afterwards. Yeah. So we love talking with prospective students about that, and they're very surprised that we take that position. You know,
it's not a business model.
No, it's not a business model that is common. Let's just put it that way.
Sure, that's fair.
But what I share with people is, you know, I look at success as like 4 legs on a stool, and one leg is simply your personal work ethic. Yeah, you still have to work very hard to get ahead in this world, and that has not changed. And that's true with going to school, and it's true with coming to Lakewood College, because we try to design our courses so that they are rigorous and that we challenge students. So be prepared to work hard here at Lakewood College, but also after you're done. The other is personal ambition, which is a little bit different from work ethic, because you can be an entry-level worker at a company for 40 years and have a great work ethic, but low ambition. Personal ambition asks the question, how high do you want to go on this ladder during your lifetime? So not only do you need personal work ethic, you need ambition. And then the third leg is likability, because we know that people want to extend opportunity to people who are likable and people they trust. And so I've often heard the line, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And a lot of people say that in a very negative light. The truth of the matter, it's both. You have to know what you're doing, but it's also pretty good to know people too, right. And to be liked by people. So I encourage students to, as you go through school, learn to relate with and network with others, and become more likable. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's part of the stool to success. And then the fourth one, which I think is a multiplier of the other 3, is education. Because certainly people can find success if they have a personal work ethic, ambition, and they're likable, but education is the multiplier. Mm-hmm. And so those 4 things will, if you can obtain them, they will help you find success. And I truly believe that. So I love this discussion. I would love to hear from our viewers as to what they think helps them find success as we start this new year, especially students.
That would be awesome.
Or graduates.
Yeah, how have you found success in the previous years, and how do you plan on implementing that, or perhaps changing it, augmenting it to reflect the 2018 learning environments?
Yeah.
I think for me, like you, I've always had at least 2 jobs and been a full-time student. Even in the military, I was a full-time student. So I think for me, being self-reflective and always being cognizant of why I chose to go to school in the first place. Of course, it's awesome to think that your salary will increase, and it's awesome to think that, that you can improve your prestige, if you will, in the world of academia. But I think more importantly, fundamentally, it's being an asset to your society, to your local community, on a micro, meso, and macro level. And that's really why I chose to go into education, was because I could impact on my local community, within the state, and then perhaps within a national organization. And I think that's the power of education. So speaking to that previous talk of, well, is education still important? I think college teaches you how to think.
Yes. I love that you added that, Anthony, because self-reflection is really the core of education. And to have students, as they learn, reflect, how is this changing me? Right. How is this changing my views on the world? How can I take what I'm learning and be a leader in my home, in my community, in my country, at work, at church, whatever? Those are powerful, powerful reflections that we want all of our students to have. For sure. So absolutely. I mean, that is the core of all personal growth, self-reflection. Yeah. And you are the perfect person to add that.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been an interesting journey, but yeah, I couldn't be happier to be here at Lakewood College, and I truly mean that.
Well, we're excited about this year and all of our students.
This is a great year. I hope that everyone enjoys and gives me feedback on all of these new things that we're implementing. And don't ever forget that not only Jim and I, but the whole Lakewood team, we're all here for you. So we'd like to extend a Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to 2018 here at Lakewood College.
Yes.
And do you have any final remarks?
No, other than we look forward to having you be part of our experience and our team.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.